Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rima Siombing, a professional tutor specializing in prometric and person view examination for midwife technician and midwife specialist in Saudi Arabia and across the Middle East. Jadi this one bisa untuk negara Kingdom Saudi Arabia, Oman, Bahrain, Tunisia, Qatar, and Egypt dan negara-negara Middle East lainnya. So in this channel we focus on high yields topic, clinical concept, case-based question, exam traps, key points, and clinical reasoning to help you prepare for your licensing examination. Remember, don't just memorize the answer, understand the concept, recognize the clinical clue, and know what the examiner is asking. So prepare your notes, stay focused, and let's master today's topic together ya. Let's study smart, practice clinically, and get one step closer to your license, Saudi license ya, Now let's begin. So today we are talking about umbilical cord prolapse. Umbilical cord prolapse ini adalah si cordnya itu turun duluan sebelum babynya, lahir duluan sebelum babynya. So, clinical protocols and emergency management of umbilical prolapse we will see. High-risk clinical profiles, cord prolapse occur most often immediately after rupture of membrane. So, yang bikin si cord prolapse ini terjadi adalah mostly karena kita after rupture of membrane. Jadi rupture of membrane-nya itu atau ROM ya, rupture of membrane, either itu PP prom or ARM. Oke. Jadi yang bikin rupture of membrane itu ada namanya misalnya SROM, jadi spontan rupture of membrane. The second one is ARM, artificial rupture of membrane, atau bisa juga karena terjadi PROM, premature rupture of membrane, dan PP prom, preterm premature rupture of membrane. Inilah bisa menyebabkan si rupture of membrane. Nah, high risk factor include-nya itu juga karena disebabkan oleh malpresentation, maybe breach. Jadi kalau breach, you can imagine this foot akan ada di bawah sini ya kan. Jadi ini tuh kan terbuka. Kalau kakinya masih sedikit doang di sini tuh kan ada space yang terbuka yang bikin possibility for this cord coming out. Okay. Polyhydramnios, as we know that polyhydramnios was amniotiknya itu kebanyakan, over poly. Jadi kalau dia terlalu banyak itu kan muter-muter di dalam uterus itu it can be moved freely, jadi kayak bener-bener bebas. And prematurity and multiparity. So, kalau prematurity, baby prematurity itu sering banget low weight ya. Jadi karena dia kecil, this cord prolapse juga bisa diving free banget inside the uterus. The second one, the third one is long umbilical cord and unengaged presenting part. Kalau presenting partnya still not engaged, belum masuk ke pintu antas panggul. And artificial rupture of membrane with high presenting part. So if we did RM or artificial rupture of membrane, kita yang mecahkan, but the presenting part still high. Jadi if we are talking about station ini spine itu 0 ya. Ini kan minus. Ini plus lah. Plus 1, plus 2. If the presenting part still high, jadi itu akan high risk for umbilical cord prolapse karena belum si kepalanya ini nggak engage ke pintu atas panggul. Jadi ada space yang lumayan banyak kalau dia masih di atas sini untuk si umbilical cord prolapse-nya itu coming out. Oke, next. Ada 3. So there is 3 types of cord prolapse. The first one is overt. You can see this one red ya. So red. Membrane are ruptured, cord has descended fast the fetus, visible at the vulva or introitus, or palpable below presenting part through obstetric emergency. So this one the biggest problem, because the cord prolapse already we can see and palpable in the introitus vagina. Jadi ini udah out banget. The second one is occult. Cord lies alongside on the presenting part. Oke, dia alongside the presenting part. Jadi dia di belakangnya. Not palpable on examination. We cannot palpable during pelvic examination, but causes intermittent compression and fetal heart rate change. Jadi kalau udah fetal heart rate change, as you guys remember, we talking about CTG, cardiotocography. If the CTG become maybe deceleration, either itu early deceleration, late deceleration, variable deceleration. But if with cord prolapse itu, kalau cord compression dengan apa? Cord compression ini bisa menyebabkan, what is that? Variable deceleration. Okay. The third one was phonic. Membrane are still intact. Jadi membrannya still intact. Cord lies below presenting part, lower immediate risk until membrane rupture. Jadi if with the membrane already rupture, this one also alatul coming out. Similar with this. Okay, how we diagnostic differentiation matrix? There is 4 item. The first one, membrane. Kalau overt prolapse itu already rupture, occult prolapse itu usually rupture, but phonic presentation still intact. The second one, cord position. Overt prolapse itu below presenting part, occult prolapse itu alongside presenting part, phonic presentation itu below presenting part. Exam finding, overt itu visible or palpable, occult itu not palpable because dia di belakang. Phonic presentation palpable through membrane. Pada saat kita pelvic examination ini akan teraba, because the amniotic lapisannya itu sangat tipis ya, bisa teraba. Urgency, this one ya memang urgency, alatul CS. Do not wait any assessment or any examination. Suspected via fetal heart rate change. Kalau sudah variable deceleration, alatul. Lower risk until rupture. Okay, red flag that we have to act immediately. The first one, called sudden fetal heart rate change, sudden fetal bradycardia or severe variable deceleration, immediately after rupture of membrane, always perform vaginal exam to rule out cord prolapse. Jadi, after we do the vaginal examination and fetal heart rate become severe fetal bradycardia or variable deceleration, maybe itu cord prolapse. That's why kita harus vaginal examination, kita harus PT untuk menentukan cord prolapse or not. Second one, visible cord and introitus. Jadi kalau sudah terlihat cordnya, action through emergency, do not delay for further assessment, activate emergency sequence immediately. Okay. The golden rule, elevate, don't replace. Jadi kita jangan sekali-sekali this one. Nggak usah nge-push si prolapse-nya itu supaya back into the uterus. Jadi kita menahan tangan kita di sini supaya ini kepala baby ini do not pressure this umbilical cord. Jadi the priority is to elevate the presenting part of the cord to relieve pressure, never attempt to push the prolapse cord back in. Okay. There is emergency management sequence, immediate actionnya. Ini ada 4 and then ada 8. Okay, you can screenshot this one if you want. First one, activate system, call for help, activate the emergency cesarean steam immediately. Because the output from this cord prolapse kita harus alatul CS, kecuali ibunya sudah fully dilated multipara with instrumental delivery ready. But majority in exam The mode of delivery you have to choose adalah cesarean, emergency cesarean. Second one, manually elevate. Elevate the presenting part of the cord with glove hand. Crucial. Keep hand in the vagina continuously until delivery. So, jangan sekali-sekali remove your hand from the vagina sebelum sampai ke operating room. Reposition mother. Use gravity. Move mother into knee, chest, or Trendelenburg. Step head down, left lateral with hips elevated. The third one is protect cord. If cord is exposed outside the vagina, cover loosely with warm, moist normal saline ya. Moist saline gauze ini kasa dibasahi dengan normal saline atau NaCl. Do not push cord back in. Posisinya, the physic repositioning, gravity is your friend. By elevating the hips above the heart, gravity physically pulls the fetal presenting part away from the lower uterine segment, immediately relieving mechanical pressure on the umbilical cord. Positionnya, first one itu knee chest, posisinya kayak gini, and the second one is Trendelenburg position. Ini kalau menggunakan bed. Tapi kita juga bisa mengubah ibunya dengan side left lateral and then hip elevated. Jadi naikin satu pahanya ke atas. Miring ya. Oke. Sedangkan emergency management sequence-nya yang berupa medical support and delivery, we give to the mother maternal oxygenation, administer oxygen to the mother, fetal monitoring, continuous CTG, consider tocolytic, administer tocolytic, example tarbutalin to reduce contraction while preparing for surgery. Okay, expedite birth, perform an immediate cesarean section unless vaginal birth is imminent, safely achievable. Kalau misalnya kita bisa vaginal delivery dengan safely, boleh. Tapi pilihlah cesarean section. And rapidly available, such as a fully dilated multipara with instrumental delivery ready. So, high-risk exam traps-nya, do this, not that. The trap yang harus kita avoid adalah attempting to replace or push the cord back into uterus. Jangan sekali-sekali push back the cord prolapse to the uterus. Removing the elevating hand during patient transport. Jangan sekali-sekali remove your hand. Frequently handling or manipulating to export cord. Jangan, karena itu akan mengganggu fetal hypoxia. Delaying intervention to perform further assessment when cord is visible at introitus. Do not wait another assessment. Ya sister. The correct action, relieving pressure on it by manually elevating the presenting part, the hand elevating the presenting part, must stay placed continuously, including during transport to the OR until the baby is delivered. Keep it warm and minimally handle it. Handling causes vasospasm and cooling drying, which worsen fetal hypoxia. Is it true emergency immediately per the management sequence? So, umbilical cord prolapse, summary blueprint-nya, diagnosis dan triggernya adalah kalau rupture of membrane rupture, terus the baby sudden bradycardia or variable deceleration, itu we have to vaginal examination. Terus kalau visible cord, langsung egg immediately alatur CS Amalia sister. The golden rules, elevate then replace, hands stay continuously until delivery, gravity helps knee chest Trendelenburg, keep exposed cord warm and moist, no handling to prevent vasospasm. Okay, cord prolapse, obstetric emergency, maintain manual elevation, give oxygen, and expedite birth via immediately cesarean. Okay, finish I think. Nah, so apa aja yang perlu kita ingat adalah the first one. Kalau di soal nanti kalian akan menemukan type of delivery, pilihlah cesarean section. The best or first action pertama adalah do not remove your hand, do not push back the cord prolapse, make the position the mother, knee chest or Trendelenburg, and then langsung ala tool for CS. So if you guys found question about code prolapse, sebenarnya you will see the hint, kayak key pointnya yang mereka maksudkan si pembuat soal itu. Jadi sangat gampang untuk menentukan apa yang diminta pembuat soal untuk menjawabnya. So I think finish about umbilical cord prolapse. But if you still any doubt, kalau kalian masih bingung and you want me to make another topic, you can comment below. And don't forget, you can also chit-chat me on my Instagram @rimasombing_ or @prometric.bd. We can discuss everything. Aku doakan teman-teman tetap dalam keadaan sehat walafiat di sana, semangat mencari dolar rial ya, mencari uangnya, cuan. Buat yang sudah pernah exam, tetap semangat. Maybe you can pass after the second, the third, or the fourth exam. And buat yang belum exam, kalian harus belajar. Aku doakan di tahun 2026 ini kalian bisa mendapatkan Saudi Consul yang ada nama kalian. Okay, I think we will make another topic later. Thank you. See you next time, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.